what's the plan?
Make up some positions, keep with the front of the pack. That's my aim for the season, to really be up with the front of the pack.
So, of course, Anna's Michael's sister. Michael's in P2. So this is a great family team. Just tell us a bit about what that's like.
Yeah, it's pretty good having Michael back in the seat this season. He's helping me a lot. I've got my GoPro on my car, so he's giving me some advice after each round, which is good. Also being out there in practice with him, being able to chase him around the track is quite good.
Welcome back for race 2 here from Levels Raceway, the New Zealand Formula 4 Championships in dry conditions now. Still very wet on the grass obviously, but all set for race 2. Liam Lawson, the man to beat. As you can see, the big field here of cars here today, 18 in total, on board with Roger McKenzie as we head down the front straight for the first time in towards the Par & Co curves. And just looking at that, the other bag in beside him, the brother, car number 27. Oh, we've got action up in front, car 22, Robert Toshak. He's off the side in the grass, around he went, and it looks like he's got some damage to the car. We'll have to have a look at that a little bit closer. I don't think he's going to get underway, but as you see, on board with Roger McKenzie in car number 72. As the rest of the field head down the back straight. Bit of side-by-side drags going on there, Anna Collins. And down towards the John Jones curve, car number 11, Dave Arrowsmith. And safety car is out, so bit of damage done to Robert Toshak's car. We'll catch up with that in a minute, but looks like he had it coming together with one of the other cars and around he went, and he might have broken some suspension. So the Timaru Motors safety car is out on the track, and all the cars will form up in behind them. And down the back of the pack there, one of the other cars. Here's Grant Campbell on board with him, car 46. One of the Formula Ford stalwarts, Grant Campbell. He's been around for a long, long time, and always a staunch single-seater campaigner. He's in the Percy Honda number 46. And down onto the front straight, you'll see the green lights going once again down towards the braking zone, and around the outside that was Dyson Freeman in car 26. A great move from him up to 4th, and that drops Grant Campbell down to 5th on board with Ethan Anderson. You'll see nice dry conditions now. Has a look up the inside of Steve Heppen in the car number 8. Side by side the two of them, having a good drag down the back straight, and just starting to pull out in front there, Ethan Anderson, but it will all come down to the braking zone. You'll see the tyre coming to the corner there, so Steve Heatherman is still in the picture. And there's the leaders going through. Liam Lawson leads. Collins once again holds that second place. And through the McKissick curves, this big, long left-handed corner with a couple of apexes in it. Jordan Mickles hanging on to that 3rd spot. And through the wee right-hander into the hairpin. Liam Lawson, the 14-year-old. He's going to be around the scene for a while, I think, this young fella, showing some good pace there out of the hairpin, throwing the car into the corners. There's the rest of the field come through, but through the kink, down onto the front straight to reel off another one, Liam Lawson. And down into the braking zone. Here goes Ethan Anderson once again, all over the back of Grant Campbell. Grant must have got past him once again, so maybe perhaps Anderson had a bit of a moment. He's had to repeat that passing move, and around the outside through Par & Co. So the leaders down the back straight once again. Still Liam Lawson leads from Michael Collins. Back to Jordan Mickles. Then we go back to Dyson Freeman in car 26, the black and fluoro car there, just in shot. And then it's Ethan Anderson. So a nice dry track now. They'll be pretty happy about it, these guys. The vision some of them were having this morning was pretty scary indeed, with a lot of fogging up of the visors. So none of that for this race. As you see, Collins having a wee look up the inside. There's no way through there though. She's pretty tight. Through the right hand kink, back into the hairpin. Has a wee sniff up the inside of the Carter's valuation hairpin. But Lawson showing good pace, throwing the car into the corners, getting a nice wee drift going through the left-hander, and that gives you good drive down onto the front straight. So down into the braking zone. Collins having a wee look as he's just not close enough. As Lawson got good drive out of the corner previous, but it's still Mickles hanging on to 3rd from Dyson Freeman. Back on board with Ethan Anderson, tucked in behind Dyson Freeman. Can he get a good run out of Castrol this time? He'll look to get a good draft. Here it goes. Pulls out and has a look. Side by side now with Freeman, and he should make that stick halfway down the back straight. Collins now having a look up the inside of Lawson too, trying to force him wide, and no way through, but definitely keeping the pressure on there. Michael Collins kicks up a wee bit of the dirt there as well. A lot of dirt on the track this weekend. A lot of the 2K Cup cars have gone off and spilt dirt all over the place. Back through the right-hand kink into the hairpin. Great aerial view from above, as you'll see Lawson take a wide line in, gets a quicker line out, which just opens up that 3 or 4 car length advantage as they head through the left hand. A great vision from the team with the drone shot. Everyone pretty much taking the same sort of line through the hairpin there. And not a lot of runoff, so you've got to make sure you get your braking right through that section. That's the Carter's evaluation hairpin. Thanks Dave on Tyres and Evolution Motorsport bringing us the footage here this weekend. Of course, it's the first round of the New Zealand Formula Ford Champs and the second round of the South Island Formula Ford Champs, which of course is making a bit of a comeback in the last couple of years with the numbers down previous, and open up this historic Class 2, which has got a lot of the older cars back out and giving them something to fight for. But here we go, our leader back into the McKissick curve, sweeping around through there. Collins coming under some pressure this time from Mickles. He's getting a wee bit closer, and Ethan Anderson has done the job on Dyson Freeman. He's through, bit of a gap back to Grant Campbell there in the 46, and Steve Heffernan there in car number 8. He's got it all to do in behind there as well. Royce Bayer in the act, and Anna Collins all out on her own. And at car number 56 going through there once again. So, and car number 11, Dave Arrowsmith there, the white Stealth. He's been around a long time. Dave Arrowsmith, been running Formula 5000s, all sorts, all getting out of shape there, Ethan Anderson. And that allows Dyson Freeman to go back through. Lucky to keep it back on the island. He just about overshot the braking markers there on the entry to Parencote, and subsequently loses the spot to Dyson Freeman. So a bit to make up again there for Ethan Anderson, but he's done the most passing here so far this weekend. There's some lap traffic coming up now for Liam Lawson. Collins will try and take a bit of an advantage of that, and in fact gets through nice and easy, as well as Jordan Michaels there. And here comes some of the cars down further in the mid-pack there. Steve Heffernan and Royce Bayer around the outside of Trevor Stiles. Of course, as I said previous, Trevor Stiles, he's a full-time racer now. He's 6 months in England and 6 months out here in New Zealand, and he's a bit of a character in the Formula Ford scene. Back on board with Ethan Anderson now. Lap traffic for them as well. He's got a good run down through the kink into the front straight. He might try and go around the outside of Dyson Freeman this time. Side by side they go, down across the line and into the braking zone, and job done for Ethan Anderson. Another excellent passing move, and keeps it nice and straight and on the racing apex line this time through. And got more action here with Freeman coming back at him up the inside. So the two of them side by side once again down the back straight. Here goes Grant Campbell. He's about to put a lap on one of the cars down the back there, the Swift, and through goes Grant Campbell. So on board with Ethan Anderson. We've seen some great shots from him this weekend. Good passing moves in the wet in the race one. You just see how much mud and water's on the outside of the track there, and here goes Freeman up the inside once again. So that's a great comeback from Dyson Freeman, and through McKissick curve there, a couple of apexes. Then back through this very fast wee right-hander, and hard on the brakes as we go into the hairpin, and try and get good drive out this time. Freeman's got good drive, so is it Anderson. Through the left-hander, flat out second or third gear through there, and on the run down the front straight. He's got good momentum this time. He'll try and repeat that move around the outside, just about touch the tyres, the two of them, as they go down across the start-finish line, and Ethan Anderson pulls it off once again. So he'll have to try and be a bit defensive now with Freeman coming back at him as they head up into Castrol Curve. So a good battle these two are having for the 4th and 5th positions at the moment. And here goes our race leader coming up and behind Andy Downs in car number 56. And just opened up half a dozen or so car links back to Michael Collins. These two have both been there or thereabouts. Lawson, they qualified quickest this morning by 0.2 of a second. They get past Andy Downs all right. Jordan Mickles trying hard there in the 3rd place. He hasn't quite been close enough to force any pressure on the back of Michael Collins. And Collins still trying hard through the left-hand kink to get a good run down to the front straight. But here's this battle continuing for 4th and 5th. Checkered flag is out, and race win number 2, in fact, for Liam Lawson, the young 14-year-old from Pukekohe. And that's another great drive, and another 2nd place for Michael Collins as well. 3rd will go to Jordan Mickles, and then 4th we think will be Ethan Anderson, car number 70, in fact it is. Dyson Freeman, then Grant Campbell 6th, Roy Speyer 7th, Steve Heffernan 8th, Trevor Stiles and Anna Collins rounds out the top 10. And then we go back to some of the other cars there as well. Joseph Oliver, James Dicey, Dave Aerosmith, Andy Downs, Robin Williams and Roger McKenzie, Dave McKenzie and Robert Toshak, of course, did not finish the race after being involved in that first corner accident. So hopefully we'll see him back for race 3 later on this afternoon for the Avon Tyres Evolution South Island Formula Fords.